Hey guys, and welcome to beautiful sunny California. Yes, it's sunny once again here in California. What can I say? 90% of the time we have the sun, even in the winter. And in today's episode, we're going to be exploring the Manhattan Beach area of Los Angeles, which is a really gorgeous area here in Los Angeles with beautiful beaches, beautiful sea, as you can probably see from all the pictures and all the videos that I'm getting of all these beautiful waves. It's a great place to come and surf. It's a great place to come and swim, but at the same time there's a great shopping district and also a lot of really interesting buildings. So without any further ado, let's explore. Manhattan Beach is one of the three beach cities along with Hermosa Beach and Redondo Beach within the South Bay region of Los Angeles County. The community is known for a long beach stretching approximately 2.1 miles and roughly 450 feet wide. In the early part of the last century, the beach was narrow, approximately 150 feet, and sloping. From 1938 to 1989, it more than doubled in width when large quantities of sand were placed on beaches to the north during construction of the Hyperion Treatment Plant, Marina del Rey, and Scattergood Power Plant. The sand was carried southward by the ocean's natural littoral flow and widened Manhattan Beach. The climate is unusually moderate because of Manhattan Beach's proximity to the Pacific Ocean, with an average year-round high temperature of 69.1 Fahrenheit and an average year-round low of 56.4 Fahrenheit. Look at how beautiful the sea is. Now it's the low tide right here in Manhattan Beach, and it's just so gorgeous. There's sand as far as the eye can see. There's the beautiful, beautiful ocean. And this is the power of California in some way. It's, once again, as I said, the fact that it's 90% of the time super hot weather. It almost feels like summer, but at the same time, we have so many beaches. People often just think of Santa Monica Beach, but as I proved in many of my videos, there's so many other really beautiful and better beaches here in the Los Angeles area, and they're really worth going to, especially that they're almost like private beaches. There's literally almost nobody here. You can just walk and relax and smell that beautiful sea breeze. Manhattan Beach is a hotspot for beach volleyball and surfing. Every August, the city hosts the Manhattan Beach Open Volleyball Tournament and the International Surf Festival. Because of this, there are quite a few volleyball courts with nets spread out on different areas of the beach, and many people are able to enjoy these courts for free. Also, the Manhattan Beach Pier area is a popular spot in the South Bay of Los Angeles for surfers of all levels, with its exposed beach break with consistent surf and more than 300 days of sun per year. Thanks to these ideal weather conditions, surfers can pretty much always surf no matter the season. Now, this is something that is very typical to America, and it's the little lifeguard houses that are on the beach of pretty much every beach here. And it really reminds me of America because, well, I grew up in Europe, and when I was a kid, we used to watch series like Baywatch, and whenever we saw lifeguards, well, they would always come from these kind of little houses on the beach. So whenever I come to a beach here in California, I always try to look for these little structures and also for the lifeguard cars, well, just simply because it brings me back to childhood and it just makes me happy. The lifeguard operations safeguard 31 miles of beach and 72 miles of coastline from San Pedro in the south to Malibu in the north. The Los Angeles County Fire Department Lifeguard Division is the largest professional lifeguard service in the world. Operating out of 4 sectional headquarters located in Hermosa, Santa Monica, Marina del Rey, and Zuma Beach. Each of these headquarters staffs a 24-hour response unit and are part of the 911 system. Here we are on the Manhattan Beach Pier, and if you walk on this pier, it's by no stretch the longest pier on the West Coast if you compare it to other ones, because there are really some piers that are so long. Even Santa Monica is just so much bigger and there's so many more things. But here at Manhattan Beach, the cool thing about this pier is the fact that it is actually the oldest pier here on the West Coast, having been built in the 1920s. And as I did mention, even though it's small, it's really worth to look at it because there's beautiful views. And at the end of it, there's also an aquarium, which is a free admissions aquarium, so you can look at some fish if you want. But if you're not into that, you can still look at the beautiful view and look at the beautiful sea that's around here. So yeah, it is really worth going on it. The Manhattan Beach Pier is 928 feet long and located at the end of Manhattan Beach Boulevard. This pier is popular with locals, tourists, photographers, and artists. It offers sunsets and vantage points from the shore and hillside. This location is also known for its magnificent barred surf perch fishing. At times, anglers catch hundreds of them within an hour of time, using mainly small jigs and sand crabs. There's just something about the underside of piers that is really attractive to me. I can't help it. Every time I see a pier, I have to explore the underside of it. And at Manhattan Beach, it's no exception. And I really love this pier because, well, it's first of all a really good shade from the sun, but at the same time, because there's a lot of surfers, I can see how it was built and the fact that every pillar in this pier is spaced pretty far away from each other. And the reason that they're done in this way is because, well, it's made so that surfers can go from one side of the pier to the other, so that they can surf under it. And it's really cool to see all of that, and the fact that the architects thought about that. So it's good for people wanting to walk on top of it, under it, and also for surfers. Under the pier is a quaint area and a perfect place to watch the waves. Some of them are pretty impressive to see, and it's really amazing to see surfers heading out to sea from under the pier and hanging out close by to the pier for spectators to watch when they catch a wave. On an interesting note, the Manhattan Beach Pier used to have the Center Street Pier at the place of it. The older pier was destroyed in 1913 during a storm. At that time, the pylons which made the pier were made by fastening 3 railroad rails together and driving them into the ocean floor. It supported a narrow wooden deck and a wave motor to generate power for the Strand lighting system. Part of the wave motor may still be buried in the sands at the shore end of the present pier. Now, this is something that is really unique to the Manhattan Beach area, is the fact that there are a bunch of streets that are leading up to the beach, and what I like about them is the fact that they are kind of sloping and going upwards, so it almost is reminiscent to what I would expect to see in San Francisco. But at the same time, what I really like about these streets is the fact that there's a bunch of really cool houses that have really beautiful colors, and they almost make me think of what I would expect of a house that was built in the 1950s, 1960s, you know, the good old America that we would see in movies. And obviously, because we are in a beach area, there's just such a good vibe to all of these streets, and it doesn't just limit itself to what is on the waterfront. This is pretty much widespread throughout the whole city, close to Manhattan Beach, and if you want to get lost around this area, it is really gorgeous and beautiful. The majority of the land in Manhattan Beach was once exposed sand dunes, which now lie beneath the city's buildings and streets. The underlying dunes afford residents ocean views throughout western portions of the city. The tallest hill is 244 feet high, and it is located in the city's southwest region. Along the shoreline there is a paved bicycle path called the Strand. The path begins in Will Rogers State Beach in the Pacific Palisades area of the city of Los Angeles and continues southbound along the beach and passes through Santa Monica State Beach all the way to Torrance Beach. The Strand area of Manhattan Beach is really nice to visit, as there are so many beautiful houses on the coast, making it very easy to wander around looking for new architecture and interesting streets. Like many beachside places here in California, well, we also have a shopping district here in Manhattan Beach, and it is really worth going to it because they have a bunch of stores, a bunch of cafes, a bunch of restaurants. I will say that this area is a little bit upscale, so some of the boutiques might be a little bit on the expensive side, and some of the restaurants might be a little bit expensive too, but at the same time, well, we are at the beach, and maybe it's okay to splurge once in a while. And if you're looking to not spend much money, well, we do have the regular Starbucks. We are, after all, in America, and there's Starbucks everywhere, but at the same time, there's a lot of really cool stores and stuff, so just go explore. Downtown Manhattan is considered the heart of the city. The area runs along Manhattan Beach Boulevard and the streets perpendicular to the Manhattan Beach Pier and Valley Drive. There are Zagat-rated casual fine dining restaurants, specialty boutiques, and retailers that create a pedestrian-friendly mixed-use downtown center. Manhattan Beach Boulevard is one of the 5 principal roadways in Manhattan Beach, and the intersection between it and Sepulveda is one of the busiest in the city. The sun is setting in Manhattan Beach, and it's golden hour here in California, making everything look so gorgeous. But with that being said, I think that this is a perfect place to end this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed going on this visit of the Manhattan Beach area and its surroundings. As you can tell, it's really beautiful, and Even me living in Los Angeles, I often don't think about going to this area, even though it's gorgeous and not that far. So if you're ever visiting LA, do come here. It's really worth it. With that being said, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment too. Let me know if there's other areas that you'd like me to go visit. I'm pretty sure I could make that happen. Okay, well that's it. Have a great day. Bye.